Let's go over the installation of your Upflow filter here. Let's first go over what you'll receive in the shipment. First of all, you will receive a tall tank here, the taller package. It may be black or almond, it may be a different color there, or blue, but we're gonna use this almond tank. But it comes, many times it comes fully loaded or partially loaded, so don't be alarmed. If it's empty, then it would only be about 5 pounds. So if there's any weight to it at all, it is partially loaded. If it is not loaded all the way, you would receive another bag or box of media. And so if you do receive another bag or box of media, then you will also get a funnel that's designed to help you load the system. And so we'll show you obviously how to do all of that. You'll get the Upflow valve, the bypass for that, and then we like to send these the male threaded elbows there. That's what you'll receive in your shipment. So just the valve, the bypass, and the connections there. Possibly a funnel and other media. If not, then it's already completely loaded for you. Then of course the mineral tank. Some things that you may need, that you'll need to help you on the installation. You'll need some sort of lubrication. We've got just a little packet there on the left. Cooking oil works great if you don't have a different type of lubrication there. Cooking oil works great. You will need some Teflon tape, and then maybe a hand tool or two. These actually go on the hand tighten. As far as the bypass and all that, we'll go over that. And then you will need to install it into your main water supply, obviously. So we're gonna show you with some installation hoses. They're flexible water line hoses, but how you connect from the male threads on the threaded elbows there to your water supply is kind of up to you, and everybody's gonna maybe do that different. We're gonna show it with these flexible water lines. So there is a cap. This tank does ship with a cap there. I've already partially loosened it, but you can take the cap off and you will notice right away that there is what's called the riser tube. You wanna make sure that's centered on the valve when we install that, but take that cap off. If you do need to load media into the tank here, first of all, stuff a rag in there maybe. Obviously don't shove it all the way down because you gotta get it out, but stuff a rag in there or put some tape around there just to keep media from going inside the riser tube. Take the funnel will sit on there. It's designed for that, as you see, and just scoop or pour the media into the tank using that funnel. When you're done, of course, take the funnel off and then remove the rag, remove the tape, whatever it is, and now your tank will be loaded. It will not be loaded all the way up to the top. There's always some freeboard in there to allow that media to expand and let water flow through there. So it should not be filled all the way to the top. Now after you do that, you wanna just hand tighten the valve onto the tank. You will notice there's a hole right in the middle of the valve there. There's also an O-ring in there, and the riser tube will fit up into that smaller hole. And you'll also notice that there is a large O-ring on the outside edge here. You wanna make sure you lubricate the O-rings here and here with that oil, or cooking oil there is always a good substitute. And then you wanna make sure that that is centered onto that riser tube. And then you're gonna just hand tighten that onto the tank there, okay? So the riser tube will fit up in there. Do not use Teflon tape, pipe dope, anything like that on these threads. That O-ring that's on the bottom lip there is plenty to hold the water back. So you're just gonna hand tighten the valve onto the tank with some lubricating the O-rings, but no Teflon tape and no pipe dope or anything like that. As you tighten the valve onto the tank, just realize that I'm using just one hand to spin that around. And all you wanna do is just snug it up just like a 2-year-old could snug it. You do not wanna tighten it too much. If you do, you could crack the tank here, this collar, or crack the valve. So you just wanna snug it up, so I can even crank on it and loosen it, and I can snug it up just a little bit. Snug it up, and snug is good enough. The next thing we're gonna do is attach the bypass. The bypass to the control valve, it already has these nuts. The way the system is, there's some C-clips in there, the white C-clips, and then there are some O-rings on here. And so what you do is you lubricate those O-rings, and you simply put those together there, you push those together, and then you just hand tighten, push those in, hand tighten those nuts around there, and you don't even need to use a wrench on those, just snug them up real good with your hands, let the O-ring seal do their job, and hold the water back. You do not need to use any Teflon tape or pipe dope on the threads, either between the bypass and the valve or the bypass and the tail pieces, because it's an O-ring seal. So just make sure you lube up those O-rings and you'll be good on those. After you get the bypass on there, then you're gonna attach the elbows here. You can obviously have those facing up, sideways, whatever it is, obviously not pointing towards each other, but down or to the side. But they use the same system there, the white C-clip in there with the O-rings, so make sure you lube up those O-rings on both of those tail pieces, and then you snug those up with your hands as well on the back of the bypass. As we get ready to actually connect our plumbing to the system here, we want to make sure that this bypass is turned to bypass mode. So you can see on the top there's some arrows there. So let's just turn this unit to bypass. This would be in bypass mode. You notice that they are pointing end to end here, so the water would flow in and out of this bypass without going into the system. After that, we're going to install, of course, we're going to use the flexible lines to install. We just have some fake plumbing here. So however you install that from your plumbing to here is going to depend on what type of plumbing you have and things like that. But we are going to show you using some flexible water lines. This is a step where you will want to use just a couple wraps of Teflon tape around the male threads here before you use a female thread to connect to. And also I did want to show you one reason why we do like the flexible water lines is because there is a rubber gasket in there or a plastic washer in there that does help hold the water back. So basically you're just going to install your water lines to here. Very important. You notice there are some words on this valve. This says downflow inlet, and this one over here says, as you come over here, it says the upflow inlet. This side is where we are going to connect the incoming water from the city or your well pump and pressure tank. This is the inlet side for this system because it is an upflow system. So as you see, it is on the left side of the control valve. So we want to connect our water in from the city or well to the left side of this valve here, and then the other side is going to be to the out. We are only going to connect the upflow inlet side for right now, and we're going to go on to that and show you why. But just connect the upflow inlet side for right now. For the upflow carbon filter, the next step is very important. So we have our incoming water connected to the upflow inlet side. On the side that does read the downflow inlet side, we just want to rinse out this carbon. Carbon needs rinsed out really well. So a lot of people, what they do is they just get a hose, somehow connect a hose to this, whether it's with a flexible line or something, or a PVC fitting, whatever you want to do there. Connect a hose to there or something, and you just want to run your water through the carbon media until it's clear out that drain for a couple minutes. So that carbon media needs rinsed out really well as it's brand new media and it's a mineral base. So you definitely need to rinse that out really well before you put it in line with any other filter or your home. So connect some sort of hose here and then turn your water on with the system. Then obviously you need to turn the bypass to the in-service mode here. Let water flow through this carbon media and up and out to a hose, to a drain, or outside, whatever, and run that until it's clear for several minutes out that drain line, making sure the water is very clear out there. Once it is clear, you could go ahead and just turn your main water off, turn your water off, and set the unit back to bypass, and then you can connect the outgoing water to your home. After you've connected the main water supply, leaving the system, going to the rest of your house, find a tap that is close to the system, the closest one. You don't want to pick a tap that's at the other end of the house. So something that's as close as you can to the system. Open that tap, cold side only. Again, that's cold water only on that side, and run that water. There could be some air in the lines, and continue to make sure that is clear as well before you walk away from the system. We want you to know that if you ever have any questions about your upflow filters here, that we would love to help you here at A+ Water. Please call us toll free at 877-477-5452. If you ever have any questions about the install, purchasing, troubleshooting, whatever it is, feel free to give us a call at 877-477-5452. Thanks and enjoy your water.